Hey everybody, what is up? We are gonna do a probably a quicker video today, and gonna go over the team that thought I had whenever I was on the win, what I was thinking. Some of you probably already know, uh, and then we're gonna go over the Thanksgiving slate, and might actually draft a couple over here on Drafters. They have this 550 Monday through Thursday splash. That's only 500 entrants. Uh, I definitely want to do some of those. I think that's going to be a really, really fun slate for sure. But how we doing, Pepper Tony? Thanks for popping in. I mean, maybe let's look. I didn't have access to them earlier. Yeah, they're still locked. So I don't know when that'll unlock, but hopefully it's soon. Hopefully it's soon. So first of all, we'll go over the team. I had Jalen Hurts as my quarterback one. On this team, obviously you take Gibbs at one. I pulled Jalen Hurts all the up to the turn because I wanted to make sure I got some Pickens Hurts. I was trying to get some of it, and Hurts just was never falling back to me to the 4-5 turn. So I went ahead and pulled him up. And then I actually had Devonta Smith over AJ Brown, but Devonta Smith in this draft had actually went ahead of him. And I'm pretty sure I'm fairly positive I know who actually took him. And I remember the lobby specifically. And I actually believe it was Peter Overzet that might have taken Devonta Smith in that draft to get me to AJ Brown. Because he was at the 4 hole. He had a McBride Derrick Henry team which is exactly what I would have done where he was at. And I actually really liked the Tyrone Tracy as I scroll off of Gibbs. If you look at what he done the week before, he had 14 fantasy points the week before. And we were expecting them to be behind and throwing, which is a Tracy script. That didn't happen, but he still kind of got there, right? Like 14.5 points in your last round is a solid amount. And I actually had Hunter Henry as my tight end 3. I had him ahead of Bowers and Kelsey. So it all kind of came together. I built out the stack that I wanted. I had a bunch of Hurts Pickens with Devonta Smith. This is the only one of those that I ended up landing Hunter Henry as well. So I'm glad it all came together correctly on the team that I needed it to actually get there. A little bit of luck involved, a little bit of game theory. It feels good to finally have a first place under my belt in something because I'd had a second place tie 7 or 8 ways on DK. I had another one where I solo got 8th on a showdown slate. So, and then I got 6th in the Wildcat a while back. It was week 2. It was a long time ago. But yeah, still going. Yeah, I can't find it. But either way, like there, yeah, I don't know where it is, but that's what happened. That was the thought process that happened through that. I most likely would have went Devonta Smith if he was there. Maybe he was. I do think that somebody took him before me. I wanted to make sure to mix a Hurts, AJ Brown or team or two in with Pickens throughout the portfolio because I was really into the Jalen Hurts, Pickens, Devonta Smith, uh, and I wanted to just make sure I got some AJ Brown. And I believe in this pod, somebody took Devonta Smith well ahead of ADP, and that's why I ended up there. Just shared a yeah. Okay, I seen the wide receiver one. I haven't seen that one. I will. If you want to post those in the tools section, by the way, in the Discord, we can. That would work out well too. That was the original goal for the tools section of the chart. I'll just port them all over whenever this is done. And thank you for the congratulations, Al Boogie. And what's up? What's up, Thad? How we doing? And by the way, congratulate Coolers here, who had a bigger win with this same exact team minus Tyrone Tracy for Eugene Wilson. It actually would have shipped the main BR. That team would have shipped the main BR. He got the Wildcat. Congratulations. Yeah, no. I am fully like, if you want at some point, I mean, I could just pop in to the. I definitely need to rename it. I just kind of made everything up on the fly whenever I made the Discord. Like, it definitely needs to be streamlined a little better for sure. And if you ever want to kind of try to help me streamline it a little bit, I do have a voice channel in there. We can jump in there and discuss it, and I can change it as we're going through it. It would be perfectly fine. What's up, Steve? Thank you, sir. Thank you. Now let's see if we can get ourselves something in the Thanksgiving slate. And by the way, this game feels really, really strong for like fantasy points. And that's why I want to do some of this drafters contest, like I was saying, has a Monday through Thursday splash. So, like, adding CMC, McMillan, Dowdle to that feels really, really good, right? Or is that just the night game? There we go. So yeah, it's all the games. So it'll be a 4-game slate. There are 4 drafters per. I think it sounds fun. You get CMC, Lamar, Mahomes, Purdy, Prescott, Lamb, like Rice, Chase, Pickens. You have lower, like Tet McMillan being this low feels awesome. Pearsall all the way down here. Like, this slate looks like a lot of fun. At first, though, we will look over here on Underdog for the turkey stuff. For those of you who don't know, the turkey contest, I will bring it up another window. It is rake free, so do some for sure. Turkey right here, rake free. The contest is 150 max. That is not happening. $7 entry, 35,724 entrants. First place, 30K. Second place, 20K. Third place, 10K. Fourth, 5K. It's a lot flatter payouts, which I absolutely love. Top 25 all get 1,000. And first, second, and third is like an even split downwards, when a lot of the contests are not that way at all. Like, if you look at the Wildcat, it goes half. Oh, it's actually flatter this week. They knocked a lot of entrants in off that. 18,700 next week. Congratulations, Coolers. You got the 8K. But it makes sense for it to be shorter this week. All the contests will be shorter, I'm assuming. The BR, 30K, 32,000. Because they definitely prioritize the Thanksgiving stuff. So, on to the rankings. we have Jahmyr Gibbs. Like, these are the stock rankings. Jahmyr Gibbs 101, Derrick Henry 102, and give me 1 minute. Let me swap this over. Let's see if this works. There we go. Don't need that. Those exposures are for the playoff or the fourth quarter contest. So do not pay attention to those. Can I remove those? I ain't too worried about it, honestly. So you got Jahmyr Gibbs against Green Bay, Derrick Henry against Cincinnati, Jacobs against Detroit, Chase Brown against Baltimore, Javonte Williams against Kansas City, Kareem Hunt against Dallas, David Montgomery against Green Bay. I'm going to do these audibly. That way, in case somebody's listening and can't watch, they will also hear. And then that's kind of the end of that tier, assuming Jacobs does play. He really wanted to go. He was close to being able to go. The question is if he does go, is he going to be limited? Because Emmanuel Wilson looked solid, right? Like, he wasn't elite, but he done what he needed to do, and he got there. Absolutely, he got there for coolers. So I'm happy about it. I just think that if Jacobs isn't 100%, it's going to be much more of a 60-40 workload than the 80%, than like the 75% that we're used to seeing Jacobs have. I might just full fade Jacobs. I definitely have Chase Brown ahead of him. I might have Javonte and Kareem Hunt ahead of him as well. I think you can argue between Jahmyr Gibbs and Derrick Henry at the 101. Derrick Henry gets Cincinnati. My first thought was Derrick Henry 101, not Jahmyr Gibbs. Although Jahmyr Gibbs is on absolute heater. He had 38 fantasy points and then 19 and then the 45 or 49 or whatever he had this last week. Detroit, their implied game or point total is only 25.5. That's a lower total for them. And Green Bay is at 23. Derrick Henry and the Ravens are at 29.8 and the Bengals are at 22.8. So that's one reason I kind of like Derrick Henry, and the fact that the Bengals are really, really bad versus tight ends, but they're also very bad versus running backs. But Lamar also, like, I thought about a little more, and like Lamar loves to throw to the wide receiver or the tight ends. I think you just bump up both of the Baltimore tight ends quite a bit, and then you make sure to get Gibbs. I think full fading Gibbs would be really dumb. Now, if you wanted to slightly lean Derrick Henry over Gibbs, I could definitely see that being a thing that makes some sense. But in all honesty, like the 101, 102, I think are gigantic leverage to the rest of them. Because after that, like the 3 and 4 hole, basically just going to have receivers most of the time. Because after that, you get to Jamar Chase, Amon-Ra, Rashi, CD, Pickens. DK has Pickens ahead of CD Lamb in price by $100. Zay Flowers against Cincinnati. I might full fade Zay Flowers in this. Cincinnati has done pretty well against number one receivers. We weren't sure if that was going to happen with Diggs, considering that Diggs actually plays a little bit in the slot. Diggs pretty much got shut out, but it wasn't because of that. It was because everything else worked. And if Lamar is allowed to, I believe he's going to throw to likely and Andrews, and they're going to run it with Henry. And Zay could get 20 points. Like he could easily get 20 points, and 20 points is a lot. I just don't think the likelihood of him being the absolute slate breaker is that big. And with all of these names, getting another player within a couple points, like I feel very confident that you can get a player or two that's very close to Zay. I think that the game script here kind of feel like Baltimore will be a little bit ahead. I think Cincinnati will be pushing them because they'll be. I just think it'll be a high point total, and Vegas agrees because Vegas has a 52 and a half, and they also have the Kansas City game at 52 and a half. And with that being said, like that's why I think I like Kareem Hunt like over Javonte and over Josh Jacobs, like, which is wild. Like I haven't liked Kareem Hunt all year, but he is very, very consistent. He's got 16, 12, 12, 18. I don't see him like kind of with the Zay Flowers thing though. Like if it's between like Hunt and Flowers for a flex spot, I'm easily going to take Flowers. But I think Flowers is going to be drafted like 100% of drafts. And I don't think you're going to really have the option to take him in the flex over one of these running backs. Like if I have Gibbs and two wide receivers and it's between Hunt and Zay Flowers, I'm going to take Flowers. Yeah, I agree with you about Hunt and raw fantasy points start to matter as the slate gets smaller. Yeah, right. And like, it's definitely something I don't want to fade, right? Because if it's a wide receiver slate, like if it's just a wide receiver slate, and like what you need is Jamar, Pickens, and Romeo Dobbs, and because they all get 20 points, but none of the running backs get to 20 points. You're just gonna need to make sure you have points at like. I could see with this slate with Jamar Chase, Amon, Rashee Rice, CeeDee Lamb, Pickens, Flowers, JMO, Worthy, Watson, Dobbs, and then like you go down a little further. Like I like Mitchell Tinsley as a player. I'm not gonna I'll probably draft him. He's gonna be wide receiver 3 in a game that's gonna have a high points. Do I think he's gonna get 20 points? No. But like with this slate, and Yoshi Boss has put up like close to 20 points before. I can easily see two wide receivers being 28 plus and one wide receiver being over 20, right? And for none of these RBs to get there to 20 points. And if that happens, like a solo Kareem Hunt team could get there. I don't think the likelihood of that happening is like, I'm not going to put it like, I think that's how exactly it's going to happen. But I for sure see that as a path that is possible. Now, if you look at the drafter side, you add Rico Dowdle and CMC into this mix, that completely changes the entire landscape of that. Because you're adding two RBs that I think would be up for the 101 as well. Like CMC is just the 101, right? In that, like, there's no question. And I think you could argue Dowdle versus San Francisco over Henry and Gibbs. I think I'm going to take Gibbs just out of fear of fading him. But I think the pure projection thing would be that it would be Dowdle over Gibbs and Green Bay. Let's go to the Fantasy Points website real quick and look at fantasy points allowed via rushing here. And in half-point PPR against running backs, Detroit. Where is Detroit? The Detroit Lions are the third best. Where is Green Bay? Green Bay is the 23rd best. Kansas City's the 29th best. Dallas is bad, but they've massively improved in just 2 weeks since the trades. And it's not like KC is very explosive at it. And that's another reason I really like Kareem Hunt on this specific slate. By the way, thanks everybody who's here. I appreciate everybody. If you're new to the channel, please hit a sub. And I'm just here hoping to give other people some information and hoping that I'm correct and so people can get some wins. It feels good. I got my first one. I'm pretty excited about it. I'm ready for the goat horns to get unlocked. It hasn't unlocked for me. I don't know if Coolers has ever shipped a contest before. If he hasn't, is your ability to put the goat horns on there or not? Let me know. So yeah, like so it's and then Cincinnati. Cincinnati's the other one, right? And Cincinnati's the single worst team against RBs, which is why I kind of that's kind of why I think you could put Derrick Henry 101. Like it in 4-man pods, I want more than 25% Derrick Henry. I think I want like 30% Derrick Henry and 20% Gibbs. If I do 30 drafts, I basically want 18 shares of Derrick Henry and 12 shares of Jahmyr Gibbs. That's the way I want to play it, at least. Like it's just matchup based. But with that, you look at tight end, and like I mean, we know that Cincinnati's just really, really bad, right? Against everything. They're by far the worst there as well. And then we look at wide receiver. And, oh, look, Cincinnati's not even on the front page. Cincinnati drops all the way down to 22nd best. That's why I think I'm willing to almost full fade Zay Flowers. And why I think Isaiah Likely and Mark Andrews should both go in almost every one of these drafts. But yeah, Dallas Cowboys, the worst against wide receivers in the league. It's not really close. And Detroit is the other one at the top of this slate. San Francisco's up there if we're talking about drafters as well. And that's why I think McMillan is massively mispriced on that one. All right, and thank you, AJ. This is PP Punch, or better known as Peanut Punch. Thanks for the congratulations, and no problem, Bestball Saul. I'm glad you came by. You did 6 4-mans today, got 4 4s and 2 3s. KC, Dallas, or bust, baby. That game's weird. Like, so Kansas City, like, we look at every stat. KC versus wide receivers, 27th best. KC versus tight ends is they didn't give up anything against tight ends again. They were already good at it. Oh, 24th. We are trending in the wrong direction there. KC against RBs. 29th best. So, but we all know that it doesn't really matter with Dallas. Dallas can put up points against anyone. So, like, I'm not worried about Dallas's ability to put up points against Kansas City. Not really super worried about that. I haven't seen any update on Rashee Rice. He got a little banged up, missed a play or two, and then came back in the game. In that overtime, he caught that really long ball and then just jumped down, right? Like, he could have got more yards. He slid down and it looked awkward. He definitely wasn't running at like 100% speed either whenever he did that. So, number one, I'm worried because I'm a KC fan. But number two, I haven't seen anything on the injury at all. But like I assume it's just like a little ding. The man had 140 yards, right? 141 yards, 8 receptions. like he might have just been tired. Like, honestly, he might have just been tired. Thanks, Fantasy Dog. Hey, yeah, it is. It's I actually my mom finally followed me. She has no idea about anything. She doesn't care about football at all. But she followed me because her boyfriend wanted to follow me. And I was like, well, if you do this, that'll help me out. I don't go begging family. Like, there's no reason to. But gotta like I would definitely do that if I was like 5 subscribers away from 500. I would definitely might beg a little bit at that point. But she said I only follow winners. Yeah, that. How were you in this conversation, Coolers? I feel like you were there. Next time, pop out from the bush and say hi. Please. Don't make it weird. So, yeah, but that's one reason I'm a little lower on Zay Flowers is because Cincinnati's the worst in the league against everything else. Not quarterbacks, but tight ends and running backs. Jameson Williams, a literal 0 after Dan Campbell calling 3 games in a row with a 14.6, a 20.9, and a 17.7. He did get a catch for 50 yards that got, I think it was 50. It was like 40 plus. It was close to 50. And, but it got called back on an offensive lineman downfield that was like barely downfield. It's one of those calls that if the offensive lineman want to run downfield and not protect the quarterback, who are we to judge? It was 38. Okay. It looked 40 to 50. I was just kind of, I watched the game earlier today. So I didn't know exactly how much. I didn't have any Jameson Williams last week. So it was more like I did limited volume. I only did 36 teams last week. So I picked the contest and I made some stands. I didn't like full. The stand I wanted to be on was Jalen Hurts, wide receiver or quarterback 1 though. Fantasy Dog says Shedeur showed out game and press conference. No game ball. Are you kidding? Stefanski should go. I'll save my takes for that game for tomorrow. I just finished watching that one. I'm still going to do the recap show tomorrow. I'm going to do it at 2 p.m. Hopefully I can get it done by time that Fanspeak goes live. They're going to go live at 4 p.m. tomorrow, and they're going to do Thanksgiving stuff. I definitely want to be there for that. I'll probably do like quicker takes and run through the games pretty fast, like faster than normal tomorrow. So that's my takes on the running backs. And for the wide receivers, like obviously it's Jamar Chase, Brown, Rice, Lamb, Pickens in some order. You can throw like Jameson Williams, I think should be ahead of Flowers and Worthy for sure. I kind of like Christian Watson over them though. I kind of like Watson and Dobbs like equally with Flowers and Worthy. I'm definitely wanting to mix in Yoshi Voss. If Jaden Reed plays, he instantly jumps up into the tier with JMO and Worthy to me. Hopkins probably a low-owned dart. Bateman, Tinsley, probably also low-owned darts worth taking. Tyquan Thornton, I think, is a low-owned dart. Like, for whatever reason, Mahomes seems to throw the ball better to Thornton than he does to Worthy. So I think mixing him in against the bad Dallas pass defense is something that makes a lot of sense. Yeah, and Hopkins is in a pretty decent spot, I think. Because let's be honest, at this point in his career, he's effectively a tight end, and Lamar loves to throw to tight ends. And Cincinnati's bad against defending tight ends. So, as a tight end that gets to play at the wide receiver position, I think he's a great pick. If you're new to the channel, I kind of slide on Nuke all the time. I'm just gonna have some fun with it. But no, I think he's a really good low owned option probably for this contest. Do I want to be overweight it? No. The problem I see with it is, do I really see him getting to 20 fantasy points? I don't see him getting to 20. I think if you can talk yourself into this wide receiver group isn't going to have combinations of 20 each on it, I think then Nuke becomes interesting. Like if you think you could get by with 15 points, or if you think the flex running back, like the flex over running back, could be 15 points, I think that's when some of these lower options become possible. And there's definitely game scripts that happen, but if we look at the implied point totals, 48 for the Green Bay Detroit game, 52.5 for both the KC Dallas game and the Baltimore Cincy game. And that setup, to me, I don't know if 15 points would be good enough for the flex, but maybe I'm wrong. And the Vegas could just be wrong too. But we get a dome game. We get 2 dome games during the day, and we get a outdoor game at night. Yeah, I have not seen the press I haven't seen the press conference yet. I was too busy watching the games earlier. If you want, shoot it to my Discord. I'll watch it, or I'll look for it afterwards. What's up, Losimo? How we doing? So on to tight ends. I like to go to quarterback last. I feel like talking through the RBs and the wide receivers gives you a better idea of like why to like the quarterbacks. So tight ends: Kelsey, Andrews, Ferg, Gesicki, Brock Wright, Isaiah Likely, Musgrave, Fant, Gray. I think all are draftable. I don't want any John Fitzpatrick, Luke, any of that. So fantasy points allowed. Let's look at, so like Dallas is actually okay against tight ends. Kansas City's really good against tight ends. The Ravens are good against tight ends. The Bengals are really, really bad against tight ends. The Lions are decent. They're 21st. The Packers are 19th. And you have I guess Brock Wright is draftable too. And I'm not saying that like it's something you want. I mentioned him, but I personally think like Andrews to me is tight end 1, and I actually think Gesicki is tight end 2. Call me crazy, but he got a bunch of targets. It wasn't Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is apparently playing. I think this just got upgraded to probable. What does that say? Coach anticipates a week 13 return. So that apparently just happened. I hadn't seen that before I got on. But if that happens, and there's definitely no T. Higgins is out. Like, to me, Gesicki is tight end 2 and Andrews is tight end 1. And then it's just kind of like, and then it's Kelsey, Ferg. Like, to me, those 2 will be the 2 I own the most, probably by far. And I actually might have Likely, I could even see Likely over Ferguson, honestly. Or if you want to put Likely ahead of one of those other 2, I could see it. I'm not going to do it because I don't want 0 of these players. But like I was saying with the Gibbs Henry thing, I would like to be like 30% Henry, 20% Gibbs. If I end up 30% Andrews, 30% Gesicki, and 20% of these other 2, that's kind of where I want to be. I might even be more aggressive at the tight end. I might even be like 35% Andrews, 30% Gesicki, and then like a little less on like 18% each on Ferg and Kelsey would make sense to me. And then definitely like Brock Wright, like Isaiah Likely over Brock Wright as well is kind of where I look at it. I think if we're looking for a spike week, I think Andrews or Likely versus Cincinnati is absolutely the place to go. And I think the bring back on that in the Cincinnati side, like you look at the splits that without T. Higgins or Chase on the field, Gesicki getting all kinds of stuff and having the big games. He had four catches, 6 targets, 35 yards without Jamar Chase on the field last week, and that was with Joe Flacco. With Joe Burrow, I think though, like assuming he is healthy, and I guess he's looked good throwing the ball, and he started practicing a couple weeks ago, so he got his rhythm back. I could see Gesicki ball out. Maybe I'm wrong there, but that's kind of what I see here. Brock Wright, I don't want 0, and I don't want 0 Musgrave, but I'm kind of gonna I'm definitely gonna have more of the rest of them, and I will absolutely have a couple teams where I flex tight ends. I think a flex Isaiah Likely to me makes a lot of sense. But the only 4 need drafted every draft. So Brock Wright won't be 100% drafted. Likely won't be 100% drafted. Musgrave won't be 100% drafted. So like that, I think those are fine as mix-ins. I definitely want the most likely of that group. But that's where I'm going to attack tight end. So quarterback, Lamar Jackson, I know he said that he's fine. He doesn't look fine whenever he goes out to run. He doesn't seem to have that gear yet. It looks like he's running like he doesn't have full confidence in his legs. And there was a play early in the game where he took off to the left side, and there was a linebacker there. And normally you would see him put his foot in the ground and kind of take off. He put his foot in the ground and kind of took off, or he tried to, and the linebacker just got right on him. And after that play, he slammed the ball on the ground, upset because I think he realized that he didn't have the quickness that he's used to having. So I am not going to have him at the 101 at quarter. I'm probably going to wait on quarterback. Look at these quarterbacks. You get Lamar, Mahomes, Prescott, Goff, Burrow, Jordan Love is the 6th. Tell me why I need to take any of these quarterbacks over the other ones, other than just to have exposure to some. I'm going to predominantly just wait till the last round to take a guy who's kind of correlated, unless I have a big stack that I'm building out that I don't want to lose. If I've been trying to build out, if I somehow get a Lamb, Lamb plus Pickens, and Rice fell back. Let's say I'm at the 101 and I take Lamb, and then Rice and Pickens both came back around. I'm not going to recommend anybody to actually do this, but if I was wanting to build that game stack out and that happened, yes, just take your quarterback then, because you've got the thing you were trying to do. And I don't see a world that would ever happen. If we count the ADPs up here, that would mean Chase Brown and Jacobs both have to go ahead of the exact combination you want, right? So the odds of that happening are so insanely low. Now, if you're at the 101 and you see the guy take Lamar Jackson and you want to try that, I'll probably try something like that. If I'm at the 102 and somebody takes Lamar Jackson 101, I might be well, here's a chance to do something that it'll be very, very low owned. And then pull Rasheed up or something, and then see if I can get the Dallas stack coming back. Right? I don't think it'll happen. Like that, because the person that the 101 is obviously doing their own thing, and they're probably not going to be invested in that game. I'm not going to recommend to do it. I might try it if that exact situation happens, because having a rice lamb pick and stack would be epic, right? But it also might get thrown out because it's a unique combination. So I don't know if it's really even worth the gamble. But yeah, like with the quarterbacks, that's my whole thing. And I'm going to have Burrow ahead of Goff. I never win 10K in. Yikes. Were you... Oh, thanks, Steven. And Coolers, I'm sure, will thank you as well. Some contest yesterday. Yep. Yeah, we... And actually, a friend of the channel, Chad Candles, he won the Deposit Kingdom. So he's also in the Discord as well. I was pretty happy. Let's see. Coolers, let me know. You're in the chat right now. Did you previously have goat horns or not? I'm just curious. Because if you didn't, I was wondering if yours popped up or not, or unlocked yet. Because it says on it that it's for winning a BR, but I believe that any daily contest is considered a BR. Oh, nice. Yeah, I see you pop into, like, I only did 36, and I see you pop into, like, you and Lutz, like, always drafted at the same times I'm drafting. Yeah, I was just going to unveil them today if it happened. But yeah, so that's my play, and I think we're going to go ahead and jump into one of the turkeys. So we're going to do the turkey, the rake-free contest. Where is it? Here it is. We're going to jump in 10 seconds for anybody who wants to join. After this, I'm going to jump on over to Drafters and try one of those, because those look like a lot of fun to me. The Drafter, like this exact slate, adding CMC, Dowdle, Bryce Young, like how low owned is Bryce Young going to be in that? And Bryce Young, to me, against them feels awesome, right? Like it feels so good. Yeah, we're going to go ahead and do what I was saying. I'm going to take Derrick Henry at the 101. I want, like I said, I want about 30% Henry and about 20% Gibbs. What's up, Ludes? I mentioned you, and you pop in. Wild stuff, sir. Wild. It makes me reconsider the luck factor. The one thing I know about Fantasy Dog is he likes his takes. He has takes. He's not afraid of them. I assume that next year you will still have stands, but you're not going to have 40-some% of a bunch of players. Like you can win that way. It's just like the variance can get you, right. Like if you're wrong, no, like Stephen WC was just saying that he's in a lot of drafts with me and Coolers. I'm like, yeah, it's like half the drafts I enter at random times, it's either Steven's in it or Lutz is in it. I literally said your name, and less than 30 seconds later, you pop up. Like I was like, well, that's wild. I mean, Jahmyr Gibbs at 103. That's got to feel good. But like, it's just going to be the same combinations he was going to get anyway, right? Now, if they don't take a Dallas receiver, I'm taking both. Don't take a Dallas receiver, Hooters. You just took Chase. You know I want Burrow. Oh yeah, here we go. I love this. So he's building out that game. I get Derrick Henry, CD Lamb, and George Pickens. This feels good. This feels really good. And I don't expect this to be like 100% like unowned, but this is what I was talking about earlier. Like, if you want to take Rice at the 101, and it's like, you could build this exact thing out, right? And it would be very interesting. Hooters almost seems like it could be, hey, maybe, maybe not. Like, that would be wild if somebody was like dual boxing to get themselves good, like different combinations, right? But if that was the case, like, why would I take Jamar Chase there to like ship Gibbs to this guy, right? And I was saying that you push quarterback in this situation. I don't know if you do, right? I do think I definitely want Dak Prescott here. Definitely want Mike Gesicki as the first tight end taken. I think we do this, right? Yeah, I think we take Kareem Hunt. Assume KC we get some touchdowns. They have to come back. We're ahead in the game. Dak Prescott throwing the ball. I think this game script makes a lot of sense. I don't think, right, exactly. Like, if you have both of like, what I said is you almost always push quarterback till the end. But if you had both, like, I don't see having Lamb and Pickens both like all the time, right? It's like the value of the quarterback you get is enhanced because you have two, right? And question is, do I want to just triple stack here? I don't think I want to triple stack this, right? I think I want to take Isaiah Likely, build out a little bit of the team stack there. Yeah, I'm gonna pivot off. I'm gonna take Likely. So the team right here, we got a 1, 2, 2, 1. Dak Prescott to CD Lamb and Pickens. We got the bring back of Kareem Hunt. We have Derrick Henry with Likely in that game. Bestball Saul says, check the alignment. Chase Baltimore stack could be more unique in combination than Gibbs Baltimore stack. True. Yes. Chase Baltimore stack could be more unique. Huh. So yeah, I mean, if you're going to do 100 of these, having teams like this makes total sense, right? I only plan on doing 20 or so. But I definitely want, like, I should probably do more, but we'll see. I really like this team though. Let's jump into another one. We're going to jump right in. After this one, we'll jump over to Drafters. We'll do one on the Drafter site, which will include tonight's game. Do they actually have tickets? Nope, they don't have tickets for that. Also, I should be getting a $10 bonus. I guess we'll get the one-on-one again. So this time I'll take Gibbs. But what was I going to say? I stopped myself. Oh, so drafters last week did the longest rush to get a like guess who gets the longest rush and longest reception to get $10 or $100 on your account. I think Jahmyr Gibbs had the longest touchdown, which was my guess. So I should be getting a bonus $10 added to my account, I assume. And anybody who follows me on X, number one, if you don't, go do it now. But number two, I just right before the stream, Underdog posted a CMC prop for tonight. So they're going to add basically every 50-yard CMC gets. I'll bring it up. So Underdog. I mean, let's just I'll bring it up in a second. All right, so Gibbs is there. We're going to take Chase Brown. I really like Chase Brown. I think we'll get I like him more. Even if we know Jacobs was 100%, I like him a lot more. We're going to go ahead and do this for a reason. We're going to go ahead and take JMO. We're going to pull him down the board. We're going to take Jameson Williams. Hopefully be able to, Holly here might, if they're paying attention, they'll see that they have to take Goff. I'm building out a Goff thing, right? So if they end up taking Goff, I just take 2 Packers. Build out that game. And if it's a guy double... Yes. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that is true. But yeah, there's after this draft, I'll show you the X thing for the Underdog promo for tonight. It's pretty sweet, honestly. So we're going to get him. I like Christian Watson a lot. If Watson goes, I'm fine just pushing wide receiver a little bit, taking Andrews. I might want Andrews anyway. I think I want Andrews anyway. We're going to go Andrews. And so they didn't take that. But it kind of looks like they may want Dak there. So we're gonna gamble, and we're gonna take Christian Watson. I'm not that upset if I have to go to Jordan Love with Christian Watson. Since I don't have the double stack. Yes, Goff. I would prefer Goff because he does throw to Gibbs sometimes. But it would make sense. So I think they will go Goff. Looking at that now. But I'm fine having JMO plus Gibbs with the Jordan Love piece. The Jordan Love piece will probably be a lot lower owned as well. He is the bottom of the barrel of the quarterbacks here. So I obviously want Goff if possible. But this with Goff is probably a lot more owned than this with Jordan Love. So this will push I think I put if I'm going to do that multiple times, the Gibbs plus JMO, I think you push it every time because you will land it, and the pivot off onto Jordan Love doesn't honestly feel that bad because they will be in a dome. So this team, you got Jordan Love to Christian Watson. You got the bring back Jahmyr Gibbs with James Williams, and then a mini game stack with Chase Brown and Mark Andrews. I am joining the 550 Monday through Thursday splash over on Drafters right now. 2 more to go if you want to join. So this is the thing I retweeted. For every 50 yards CMC gets tonight, they're adding $1,000 and $1,000 for every TD he gets tonight. So if he goes for 100 and a touchdown, they're putting out $3,000, and the 10 winner, they'll draft 10 winners of the people who repost it, and each of them would get $300 to their account, right? Because that would be $3,000 in the pool, and the 10 winners should split it. So it should be $300 per person. All you got to do is follow Underdog, and repost. And if you just highlight over it, just click the follow, you're good. Late to the party. Did we already talk about that? We did. My take is I want 30% Henry, 20% Gibbs. That's where I want to land. I want to land 30% Henry, 20% Gibbs. On the drafters version of it, though, it includes tonight's game. And in that slate, I think it's easily CMC 1. And then it's Derrick Henry and maybe Rico before Gibbs. I don't know. Let's see. Will the streamer luck continue? We got the 104. This looks wild. So we got Fantasy Cafe at the 103, Chigs at the 10 or at the 102. And what is that? Gore? Something? I don't know. Cannot read that. But we're definitely going to do this. Oh, and by the way, if you have never heard of Drafters or you're new to Drafters, if you sign up on Drafters and use promo code WHO, capital H, 2 little O's, you can get a 100% deposit match for up to $100. That is a 100% deposit match for $100. You put in 100, you get to play with 200. You're welcome. So I think it's easily CMC, and so Drafters is also full PPR. So maybe it is Gibbs over. It probably is actually Gibbs over Henry on the full PPR site. But to be honest, I might just want the receivers here. But let's see. What do we got? We're going to go safe here, and we're going to take the Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase. I'm assuming that's pretty common. There we go. It wasn't on board view for some reason. Yeah, the drafter slates are different. I got a top 10 finish early in the year. I got a top 20 finish last week, but it's pretty top heavy. I've not done super well overall on it, but I usually have a team that's like somewhat close. This past week on Drafters, I did not. Hey, thank you, Joel. I appreciate it. Hopefully other people in the community continue to win as well, because we had coolers earlier in the season. We had Pepper Tony on Drafters. I think he said he banked a octopus, and then he banked something else as well. So that feels really, really good. Like, I'm just glad to see anybody being successful. So yeah, we're gonna we're actually gonna hammer these running backs here. We're gonna take Chase Brown as well, and I think we want Jacobs. So on drafters, one different thing about drafters is, let's say I don't get Jacobs, I can actually go in after the draft and just full swap. So you get to choose your swaps on drafters. That is something Underdog doesn't do. I understand why they wouldn't, because like, let's say that this guy decides that they notice that they drafted the exact same team twice and they want to pivot off of Rico Dowdle to something else. If they put Rico Dowdle back, it saves this lobby. And if I took like a last round flex option, I could just go in and get Rico Dowdle as my flex. And just have a nutted team, right? Like that can happen. And that being allowed to happen does give, like, there is opportunity to manipulate it, right? I don't, yeah. You can't get the original player or the players they swap to. You can't. I'm pretty sure that's not correct, but I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I could see Ricky Pearsall also having a pretty big day today. Did McMillan go? Yeah, McMillan went early. So definitely going to go with Andrews and with Ricky P here. We're going to hope that we can get Joe Burrow on the way back. Nobody else should be interested because I have Chase and Chase Brown. Like, I have Chase and Chase. And then I have the bring back over there. We're kind of fading the KC game. But I can, like, I like Christian Watson a lot. He's, like, look at the game log of what's happened since he's came back. He's got 40 yards in each game. He had 50 and then 45, 46, 49 with 5 receptions. That's 10 points. And he does get targets in the end zone as well. Okay, so when a drafted player is swapped out by a team, they remain unavailable for pick by other teams. Okay, good. Thank you. I don't think that was true last year, maybe. Maybe I'm just wrong. So that's what it was. Whenever I swapped out, I can still see the player I swapped out, but everybody else cannot. Okay, yeah, that makes total sense, actually. Let's go with Mitchell Tinsley. Like I said, you can swap whenever. So, like, as soon as that goes live or done, we're going to do one more of these, by the way, and then I'm going to call it. If you're new to the channel, please smash the like and the sub. As soon as this is over, I am going to I'm going to go ahead and head on over to Fanspeak. I believe they're going live here shortly. Maybe. Oh no, they're going live tomorrow. So maybe I'll stay on for a little bit. But I'm going to make sure to give myself a little bit of a break because I'm going to go on with Sleaze, My Mind is a Weapon, later as well, right before the games. So yeah, I'll stay on for a little bit. Though if swapped again, you may be able to get the player swapped into first. Not sure. Got it. Okay. Hey, thanks for popping in, Mike. Yeah, they said at 4 p.m. I was thinking it was today. It's going to be going. Sleaze is way cool. I like the way you said that there, Fancy Dog. Steve is alive. He is willing to text in their Discord. Like he messages. He will not be there for the show tomorrow. I will be doing the recap solo again. I think I'm gonna like I said earlier. I'm gonna do it early again. I'm gonna do it at 2 p.m. this time. They're going live at 4. I'm gonna try to be done in the 2 hours. It took me 2 hours and 17 minutes to do it by myself last week. But I was also trying to tie in a lot of fourth quarter stuff. None of that matters. So I'm probably just going to kind of stream through it pretty quick and be good. That's the first time I've ever seen everybody hit the button and the draft start early. Congratulations to this lobby. And welcome, Kai. Thanks for popping in. What's up, sir? I mean, CMC is the clear 101, right? Like, the reason I want to do this slate is to get some CMC. So I'm going to draft this until I'm either out of money or I get a CMC share. Like, I think CMC tonight is going to do insane things, like absolutely insane things. Let's be real. You can start 2 hours ahead and still be not. Yeah, I mean, I try. So we're going to do Rashee Rice and Lamb here. We were having a discussion in my Discord earlier about CD Lamb, how you can tell that he isn't 100% off of the high ankle sprain, right? Sometimes it takes high ankle sprains like up to 8 weeks to recover, from what I've read. I'm not a doctor. I don't know for sure. But it's almost like he knows that that's happening. Like I said, and my view on it is it's almost like he knows that he's not himself, and he's letting that affect his hands. Because, like, it's one of those, like, a runner who's had a shoulder injury who's not willing to really lower the shoulder. It's almost like he's not willing to – he's thinking about his feet a little bit while he's trying to catch the ball, and that's what's causing some of these issues. That's not the excuse for week one, obviously, but it's just a thought. That's something that could be happening, right? I don't know if it's happening, but it's something that could easily be happening. I really, really want to dawdle there, but we will do this. We will go with a 2RB team here, I think. So you also draft more, like you draft more players on this too. So on Underdog, you only make 6-man teams. You make 8-man teams. You get an extra receiver and a flex on this. You do have the extra game though. Yeah. So you think it's cool how you like to dig deep into each thought strand? Yeah. I mean, I'm trying to talk. Like, I'm basically talking it out as I'm thinking about it. So, like, some people say they enjoy that. Like, I'll have the thought and then I'll think about it. And if I have access to information to research to see how wrong or right I am, I'll go do it. So I appreciate that as a compliment, sir. And a compliment or a slight, like, it doesn't matter, right? Like, the fact is the fact. So got a little bit from all the games here, huh? Like, George Kittle, I do think should be the first tight end taken for sure in this. We didn't take Gibbs. We're not in that game. We could take David Montgomery it's a low scoring game. He gets the 2 touchdowns, and then not take any other piece of that game. And then I think I want Andrews here, or do I want? And then now we're gonna play it that's the game you need, and we're gonna hope that Mahomes makes it back. I'm assuming as long as they don't take, if Kai takes Lamar here, Gordy, I haven't noticed if they're auto drafting. But if they're auto drafting, they would take Mahomes, and I would just take Dak, right? If they're not auto drafting, if they're auto drafting, they just get Lamar here, right? And then Kai doesn't get the stack he wanted, unless the stack he wants is Burrow. I kind of like Burrow more than Lamar in that game. Fancy Dog says, Whoham's an intellectual giant, still learning this trade. Yeah, I'm just out here doing things, right? Like I'm not saying I'm doing them well, but I'm doing things. A Kareem Hunt, super sharp pick there. He might get honestly, we do that. Do we take Jacobs here? I think we just take Jacobs, right? Like last round. Like with the flexibility of swaps, like I feel so comfortable taking Josh Jacobs there. And for those of you who don't know how it works over here on Drafters, so like this is what it is. Like I could just click swap here. It just brings up everything and all the RBs come up. And then up here you can look at who's available. Like it won't let you swap there and the one thing is I did mess up because you want that person to be in the flex, right? Or no, because I took him last. So since I took him last, it's fine. If I would have taken Josh Jacobs first as my first RB, when you swap, I don't believe it allows you to swap to a wide receiver, or a tight end. But if you take him in the flex, it will let you. And I don't think it lets you. Okay, but you can move him too, right? So it doesn't really matter where you go. You can go ahead and if you take Jacobs there, you can move him down here and then flex, and then do the swap if you wanted to go to a wide receiver. All right, we're going to do one more of these. One more Thursday through Sunday splash. We're going to hope to get the 101. I really want the 101. I want some CMC in this contest. I haven't done a pick'em on Underdog yet, but the pick'em I'm thinking about, I was going to talk through it with Sleaze, but I really like McMillan over 65.5 yards, and for CMC over 120 total rush plus receiving yards. I feel pretty solid on that as just a twofer with I don't know if everybody else got a fish boost like I got, but I got a fish boost. And in that fish boost, it's a 40% one. Like that 2 times. Like, let me just look at it. So if I apply that, a $10 bet, and it's a $50 max, but a $10 bet would pay 41 for those 2 things to happen. So a $50 bet would pay 204. That's not right, is it? Yeah, that's right. That's right, because that's which is essentially the same as making a $100 bet on each of them on DraftKings, right? Because it's a 3x. All right, we'll take Gibbs. And on Drafters, like I think it's a lot. easier to talk yourself into going wide receiver in the first round over here on Drafters. And we can look at some. Yeah, let's go. Let's go Gibbs Henry. Let's do it. Hey, thanks, Meat Gazer. Been a while since I've seen you. Not sure if you still listen, but I appreciate you popping in either way and saying thanks. You were around the entire preseason. I appreciated you popping in, chatting with me whenever I had very few subscribers. It was nice. Much appreciated. And if you want, FK Coolers is in the chat as well, who had a bigger ship than I did. Old Rocco here. They want money. They don't want Rico. Look, money sign, Rocco, money sign. Sweet. This feels good. Lead running back. It could be one of the lead running backs in all the games. Most likely, I mean, it's almost definitely going to be CMC one in this, right? But this is a unique combination. Like I really like this. And we're going to go ahead and take Mr. McMillan. This is going to be a very low-owned Bryce Young team. We will take him in the last round for sure. My man. So we I really like this drafter slate, to be honest with you. I might put some more money on drafters and do a few more of these. For sure. Like I'm really liking it. I'm checking in with Sleaze to see, like, I'm waiting for him to reply to see what time we're starting tonight. So we're going to get the Ricky Pearsall bring back here. I would have, like, Kittle, like, that's kind of where I think Kittle should go. I think Kittle should easily be the tight end one on this slate. If I can double tap and build this game out real heavy, I'm going to do it. Because this will be the leverage. Like, this would be a script to where the Niners are winning, but they're winning more through the air, and McCaffrey's getting yards but no touchdowns, and the touchdowns are going to the receivers. It could happen. And it also would give me an opportunity to get to Brock Purdy if I would prefer Brock Purdy. So we're going to do that. We're building out tonight's game, everything but CMC Kittle, which are the two pieces I like the most in the game, right? Like, I like CMC, Dowdle, Kittle, and McMillan a lot. I like all of them a lot. If I get the 101, I'm going to go CMC, Dowdle, Kittle, and hope McMillan makes it back. I mean, I promise you that's what's going to happen. I think tonight's game, I don't know what the over is on the game. I'm going to guess it's like 52, but I'm going to absolutely smash the over. I feel very strong about the over tonight. Might get Mark Andrews. We're gonna get Mark Andrews unless Rocco wants a flex tight end. Which they can do. And we'll give the one on the end the choice to take Purdy. If they want Purdy, they can have Purdy. And then if they don't want Brock Purdy, like, Lamar's going to go undrafted in this. Yeah, Lamar's going undrafted here. So we're going to take Bryce Young. We got Bryce Young to McMillan. He does throw passes to Dowdle as well. But then we have Gibbs, Derrick Henry, Dowdle, and then all the receiving from tonight with the Bryce Young and then the solo Mark Andrews against the best matchup in the world. I actually don't hate that team at all. It'll like Bryce Young will be very, very low owned for sure. Hey, thank you, Paulino. I appreciate it. Thanks for stopping in. Thanks for smashing the like. I appreciate it for sure. And don't forget to go over to my X account, follow whohames_ff. Opt into the underdog promo challenge or promo thing tonight for CMC. It is pretty sweet. We're getting closer. We had 2 at the 4. We got it to the 3. We got to the 2. Maybe the next draft. Maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll eventually get there. We're inching our way to the CMC share ever so slowly. We got like the thing about that is if I want to swap out, and also the swap option on drafters doesn't lock until the game locks. So it's got the mechanics of like DK, like late swaps, right? Only the players that their games start swap. So if you're looking at it, you can late swap if you know, like you can go in and look at the leaderboard. And if you see that, oh, they have Roma Dunze and I have Roma Dunze, you could just go ahead and don't want. Let's go get. Yeah, we're going Gibbs. I almost went Almon. And I wish this would go to board view every time. What was I saying? I can't even remember what I was saying. But yeah. Oh well. I'm sure somebody will remember. Oh, Kai over here. Look at Kai. Look at Kai taking Dowdle on me. What are you doing, guy? Oh, we get Almon Ra. We get the stat. I like this. We get the Jahmyr Gibbs Almon Ra stack. Hopefully we get one of these as well. That would be fantastic. You only want one of them. You don't want both, sir. Hey, thanks for popping in, sir. I appreciate it. He goes ahead and goes with the double stack. We just take Kittle, right? Like, I think here is a big, like, you could argue Chase Brown. I like Chase Brown a lot. But I do want some Kittle for sure. Y'all aren't leaving me with 2 RB on the turn. I am Kai. Hear me roar. I totally get it. I totally get it. They do absolutely fall off a cliff, right? Like, I do like, as I was saying earlier, I do really like the Kareem Hunt pick on these shorter slates. I don't want 0 Kareem Hunt. But man, like Dowdle Henry feels really strong, right? Like to me, that feels very, very strong. The one, like I want the CMC and I think he's easily the 101, but there are 2 players at running back that could get points that kind of contend with him, right? Like Derrick Henry's matchup is that, and Gibbs can just do it against anybody. I mean, if Chase Brown makes it back, we're taking Chase Brown, right? Come on, Gordie Howe. Gordie Howe, hat trick. He's been drafted smart. I've never seen them in the drafter streets, but they are definitely drafting smart. Do I want? Do we do the thing? Do we do the whole thing? We're gonna actually we're taking Kareem Hunt here because we have Gibbs and Brown. Don't really want Montgomery with Gibbs. I think taking JMO would have been okay, although I don't love it. Montgomery's still there. I'm into Pearsall over Jennings today. We're gonna go ahead. And on this slate, actually, and on drafters, I was saying I don't love Zay Flowers this week. I don't. But in full PPR, he does have more value, right? Because as Pepper Tony knows, they don't target him in the red zone. And he was kind of going off a little bit in my Discord about it. He was like, man, Zay tries so hard to score every time he touches the ball because he knows for a fact they're not going to target him in the red zone. And it's like, yeah, that's why I was out on him at the 3-4 turn in best ball season. But whenever he got to the 5th round, I was like, this is actually a pretty good price. So we'll have the solo piece there. We've got Gibbs, Brown, Hunt. We're going to go Pearsall here. Christian Watson. I would have loved to get Christian Watson there. And then we're Chuba. Look at Chuba down here, projected for 3 points. Congratulations to Chuba Hubbard and his massive projection there. So we have 2 double stacks here. I'm actually going to take Brock Purdy here. I don't know. Yeah, we're going to take Brock. And I might take Jalen Coker as the bring back. Like here, it was like, what do I do? Do I take Jared Goff and Mitchell Tinsley? Do I take... Oh, that was actually the play. The play was to take Jared Goff and Emmanuel Wilson. And then swap off of Emmanuel. That was the play. To just take Emmanuel Wilson there. That's what I should have done. I should have taken Emmanuel Wilson here. And then Goff at the last round, assuming they didn't. And then just abuse the swap, right? Because nobody else was going to take Brock Purdy. So if Goff went, I could have just taken whoever and then swapped afterwards. That's what I should have done. I should have paid attention to that. I think Wilson is the play I have anyway here, right? I mean, if they don't take Goff, I could still take Wilson. Yeah. I could still take Wilson here and then swap after this is over to Goff, right? I think that's the play. Yeah, I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to my teams. Which, that's wild. I didn't even think about that. You could do that just to block people off from picks. We're doing one more. We're inching our way to the 101. Hopefully this is it. This probably going to be the last one I do. I appreciate everybody who's popped in. Hope you all have enjoyed the stream. Thank you for all the congratulations. And also congratulations to Coolers and congratulations to our boy Chad Candles, who has not made it here yet, but he had a 1K hit. He also almost got to the Dog Bowl again. Not sure if you guys looked at the Chad Candle stuff or the Dog Bowl, but results 12 person. I did not do good in the 12 person. I had one team that was in the money until the end, but number one, I picked late. I picked at like 4-5 a couple times. But yeah, Chad Candle's down here. A Chimere DK pick. Like, that is awesome. He got the DK pick. It hit. But Jake Ferguson didn't do enough to get him the ticket. Like, it was the Jake Ferg not doing enough. But the team that got second actually got a 1.4 points with the tight end. Thank you, sir. Oh, we get pushed back to the back of the bus again. Thank you for popping in. That's friend of the channel. Can't remember what your name is, Lego. The fact that they've changed all these names to the @ names like messes with me. So there is that. All right, so CMC gives like you would expect. I think I'm going to go double wide receiver here, no matter what. I would love to go like Jamar Chase and Rice. Like, I think Rashee Rice is going to absolutely cook against Dallas. Like, absolutely cook against Dallas. But Jamar Chase has a history of absolutely cooking against Baltimore. So we're going to do that. No correlation here. We're just going to do those two. Just the best plays. Get some correlation late. Not worry about RB. There are, like, if I just get 2 RBs on the way back, like, doing this, I'm fine going with like a David Montgomery because I didn't take Amon-Ra. I don't have Gibbs, right? So in that situation, like, unless I want JMO, I think JMO plus DMont makes a lot of sense too. That would be a game script where JMO has a monster early half and then DMont runs a little bit in the second, right? Which they go drive for drive no matter what. And it's just kind of hit or miss, like if Gibbs or DMont is the one going to get the touchdowns. I mean, it's more likely Gibbs because he's just a better player. But that doesn't mean that, I mean, we all know David Montgomery's not a bad player. He's a great player. Okay, so they're starting to get hip to that. We'll take, I won't have very much Javonte Williams, but with this game script, we're going to have Dallas is kind of ahead. And we're going to hopefully get a Mahomes bring back thing here. See how this works out. Maybe, I'm assuming, so Tommy can't take another one. Golians, 97. Look, they might end up taking naked Mahomes, but they're definitely drafting not off ranks or. So if you don't put your own ranks in on drafters and you auto, you're going to get quarterback in the first round because their ADP, they don't do ADP. They just sort by projection. So if you ever enter into a drafters and you get autoed your first round, you're gonna have a quarterback every time. I've let that happen to me a few too many times. Whenever I'm not paying full attention. We got what do we? So Mahomes does go. They are autoing. So that changes what I was going to do. It just means we're gonna move up Mark Andrews here. Gonna make sure to get him, and we're gonna do what we were saying earlier. Actually, we're gonna take Kareem Hunt, and we're gonna take Mark Andrews. Lego over here is the only other person that can take a quarterback. They're obviously taking Jared Goff, right? Which means that my Joe Burrow is completely safe. If I want Burrow for that game. And I think I do. I think what I'm going to do here with my last two picks is this right here. We're going to do that for sure. Mitchell Tinsley to me is actually Yoshi Boss is available, right? Yeah, we just do the Yoshi on this one. Or I was planning on going Mahomes Worthy and doing a double stack in this one. But since I took Javonte, I don't plan on taking a lot of Javonte versus Kansas City. But if I take Javonte, I want to build out the game, right? And I think that game script says Worthy and Mahomes could get there. He did not. He took Brock Purdy. So we're going to go ahead and do that, and we're going to be done. The team is Joe Burrow, Javonte Williams, Rico Dowdle, Kareem Hunt at flex, wide receivers, Chase, Rice, Yoshi, and tight end, my tight end to Mark Andrews. I'm probably not going to have like any Travis Kelce in this contest. And we have enough money in our account to do one more, and they are waiting on one. So I lied. I will do one more. Sorry for everybody. If you are watching, you have to watch again. Luckily we did. We got the 101. So congratulations to me to the 101. It only took, it was what, 6 drafts? That's not that bad. Chigs in the 4-hole, Jordan H, and Crime Dog with the Scooby-Doo picture. Gotta love it. Love that profile picture. Yeah, so that's an awesome profile picture and name. What you win? I won the Engage 8. I won the Engage 8 FK Coolers with basically the same team, minus Tyrone Tracy with Emmanuel Wilson, won the Wildcat, and Chad Candles won the Deposit Kingdom contest. So a good day around the Bestball community, at least the local community that I take part in, like I deal with. I might actually do some DeBombs. I haven't been doing DeBombs, but I might do 1 or 2 of them. And here I am just hoping to cash. I'm assuming that's the exact way you said that, right? That's how you said it? And I'm just here hoping to cash. Very proper. Feels like the way you would have done it. Yeah, so this right here is how I think it should go most of the time. Christian McCaffrey, Jahmyr Gibbs, Derrick Henry. Like, I feel like Dowdle, like, arguably should be in there, but he's not going until the third, which I think is something that should absolutely be abused. Like, there's like, I'm going to have a lot of Dowdle in this. I just think his price is too cheap. What did I say I was going to do if I got this pick? I mean, if Rice or Pickens is there, Rice or Pickens. If it's Rice, we're definitely taking Rice. Man, like if it's Rice and Pickens, okay. Do I want? Oh man, I definitely want Dowdle. I haven't seen McMillan come all the way back, and I kind of want to get McMillan, and so we're gonna do that. We're gonna. This is the game stack I want to bring out. Like, I want this stack for sure. If I had got, like, if this is my first draft, I didn't have to reload to do more. I would have taken Pickens there and try to push T-Mac around. So, because I've seen a couple drafts and McMillan hasn't made it back to the 4-5 turn, but I think once, maybe he didn't on any of them. I want to make sure to have this. And if he's not falling back, that's going to make this specific combination very rare. But I really, really like this. And if I can get, and Kareem Hunt to me is way too cheap in this as well. George Pickens gets all the way back to them. Jamar Chase, Amon, and Pickens feels awesome. They got Jacobs though. Like, the Jacobs pick feels weird. Like, it could be a really good pick though. Like, I'm not gonna hate on it. It could be a really good pick. So we're definitely building this game out. Kittle did go as well. I'm going to wait on tight end. This might be my Gesicki team. I do like Gesicki in this. So we're going to go with JMO and with Kareem Hunt. What's up, Aaron Sandy? How we doing? No, we're not doing Lamar and Zay there. Like, the goal of this is to do this game, right? Like, I have a weird, like, Bryce Young is going to be drafted like very, very, very few times with these other quarterbacks. And I think there's a better than 12% chance, which, like, if you just count up the quarterbacks, right, there's going to be 8 quarterbacks. I think there's a better than 12% chance that Bryce Young is quarterback 1 on this slate. And he's going to be drafted probably like 3%. So, if I won't mind being overweight on Bryce Young to the field. And I definitely want that on a CMC team. I mean, Lamar makes it all the way back, which is wild to me. We take Andrew. I mean, we could just take Andrews Lamar now. Like, this feels too cheap, right? Like, I do want to do that. Like, we're gonna take Lamar and Andrews is what we're gonna do. That's too cheap. Bold statement, Cotton. On the on the Bryce Young. Like, it's more of a quarterback, like a. So Carolina Panthers are 10th worst against quarterbacks, and are not. The Niners are 7th worst against quarterbacks, right? So, of all the teams, like Lamar is. Oh, that's not. I didn't hit apply. Never mind. Reloading. So the Niners, the Bengals are the worst against quarterbacks, but like we know they're just the worst against everything, right? But of the other teams that are available, like Jordan Love, who is also not drafted that often, is pretty low. He's got the best defense, the second best defense to go against, and then Bryce Young is the third best. So like all the people who are less drafted are the ones with the better matchups. So I think that this group of quarterbacks should basically be drafted at equal amounts. Is how I view it. So we got Lamar there, to Andrews. We have to take one of these. Could take, like, I don't like Hopkins, but he's basically a tight end, right? Like we discussed this earlier. But we'll take the Yoshi Boss bring back on this. Team is Lamar Jackson, to Andrews with the Yoshi bring back. We have just Hunt from that game. We have just JMO from this game. And then we have CMC, Dowdle, and McMillan. Like, to be honest with you, I think I like this team more with Bryce Young here and with Jalen Coker. Or not Jalen Coker, but yeah, I think if I take Bryce Young at the last round and I take Dobbs, if I go Andrews Dobbs, and then I take Bryce Young in the last round, I think I prefer that team, to be fully honest, because that's a little mini game stack there. It doesn't get me to Lamar. Like, not that I want zero Lamar, which I was headed towards, but I like the Bryce Young. I just, if I hadn't already taken a Bryce Young team, I definitely wouldn't have done that. But anyway, I want to thank everybody for coming out. I will be on tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, for the recap show. I'm going to try to get it done within the 2 hours, like at 2 hours. If we get done earlier than that, we're going to do some Thanksgiving stuff. Good luck tonight, everybody. I'm going to go jump in Neil Orfield's stream or chat whenever he goes live, until or unless Sleaze is live by then. I'm still waiting on him to reply on that. He's already said that I'm good to go. I just don't know what time that starts. I'll see everybody later. Have a great night. Good luck tonight. Peace.